This demo is to showcase some of the cool features of our product, Smart Energy Management System. The product mainly consists of three parts: one, a configurator, data collection engine, reporting and analysis. This part of the demo is to cover the configurator. The configurator mainly consists of the main canvas, which is right here, and on the left side is an array of icons representing items to be used in the configuration. The way we configure any particular plant or a management system is to first select a site and hold it and then drag it here. Then that is how you configure a site. It is that simple. Then you can either leave the name as it is, or if you want to rename, you can type whatever name you want, and then if you want to add a little bit description, you can add the description here. So, now if you want to add the substation onto this site, is to simply go to the gallery on the left side, hold on to one of this substation and then drag it here simply. So, and then leave it here. The way we say that this substation is under site 1 or the site substation 1 belongs to site 1 is to link these two objects together by holding on to one of these arrows and then connecting it to the adjacent sub object. So, now you can see there is a line joining these two objects, which means that this site 1 and substation 1 are linked together, or the substation 1 is under site 1. So, for example, you want to monitor what is the power that is coming into the substation 1 or going out of the substation 1, you can simply do that by adding energy meter to that. So, in our gallery for our demo purpose, I gave two energy meters. One is LNT meter and another is HPL meter. I am simply holding on to the LNT meter and dragging here, and then leave it at this point, and then connect again LNT the meter to the substation to represent that this is actually connected to the substation. If you want to monitor the power going out of this, you can drag one more meter and leave it here and connect to the substation. That is how simple it is. Now, the couple of points to be noted here is, when I click on this one, there is a information window or a grid view comes is shown at the bottom. And then when I substation 1 I click, the same thing is shown, but when I click on this LNT meter, there is a host of items appear here. One is the first line item is meter ID, where you can assign ID to the meter. Say for example, it is meter ID is 123, then you do that. Then the next one is meter additional details of the meter, like make, model and all that, and if you want to add description to this, you can add it here. Those are for the properties of the meter, but mainly the next two lines indicate the parameters that it is going to collect. So, every meter is configured to collect active power in kilowatt and active energy in kilowatt hour. But if your idea is to only collect these two data points, then you do not need to do anything further on this. You can move on to the next configuration. But if you do want to add few more parameters, you just go to the next line, which is blank, and you click on the first column, the property column. Then there will be a list of parameters that you can add. Say for example, you want to add an apparent power, then you click on this apparent power kVA, and click on the next column, then automatically this is going to add the rest of the parameters to this parameter, rest of the properties to this parameter. So, now if you want to, you can add one more parameter and things like that. But now at this point I would like to show only adding one parameter. Now we have configured one substation and we attached one meter to that. Now we want to add another substation to under the site 1. You can do two ways. One is you go to the gallery and then select one substation and drag it here, or since you have already configured one more a meter to this, and then we have added one additional parameter to this meter, and we want to continue adding those parameters to all subsequent meters, it is better to copy and paste this substation along with the meter. So, those properties are copied over. So, the way we do it is we simply hold the mouse and select, then right click, sorry, copy, then click wherever you want, right click, paste here. It is going to paste another substation with a meter. So, now you can see if I click on this LNT meter 2, then you can see this additional property that we have added to the previous meter is still maintained. So, at this point if you want to add one more parameter to this particular meter, you can click here and then add. So, for example, a reactive power, you can add it. Now, this, so now you can see if I click on this LNT meter 1, there are only 3 parameters, but if I click on parameter LNT meter 2, there are 4 parameters. Now, if you copy this one and then paste it, the LNT meter 2 and substation, and paste it elsewhere, then it is going to carry all those 4 parameters for you to configure. That way you can quickly configure, like part of the configuration, and then copy it and paste it to complete the rest of the configuration so fast. So, now another thing is like the way, as usual, like the way we say the substation 2 is also under substation 1 is to join these two points. Then now there are 2 substations under site 1. So, now so we can continue to add substations like this, but now I will show adding another one transformer to the transformer under substation 1. You click like this, you connect it, then drag one more LNT meter and then connect it. So, now you see that this meter, because we dragged it from the left side gallery, it is still maintaining only 2 parameters here. So, likewise you can drag as many icons as you want and add as many parameters as you want. Now, I will show just one more, adding one residence to this under this transformer, and then connect this to the residence. So, that means there is this resistance is under this transformer 1, and you can have another meter attached to this resistance. So, now the difference between LNT meter 1 and 2, I mean the differences can be anything, but in this example this HPL meter is having an acquire method, that is interface Modbus, and this one is the acquire method, that is interface is DLMS. So, basically our product supports different kinds of interfaces, whether it is Modbus, DLMS, or serial or HTTP and things like that. Now, there is another cool feature in our product is is a collect frequency column, which is where you define the rate at which you collect the data. Say for example, it is defaulted to 30 seconds, but the power, active power, is typically you want to trend or collect at a faster rate than kWh, because kWh you do not need very frequently. So, we can configure two different data rates or data collection rates for these two parameters. Say you want to collect kW at every 30 seconds, but kW at every 1 hour. So, you can do it by simply changing the data collection rate and then to 1 hour. This is 3600 seconds. So, same way, if you want to change this to 1 minute, you can do so. So, in other words, in our configurator, each parameter you can configure it to collect at different data rates depending on your requirement. So, that's how much granularity we provide in our system. So, this is in a nutshell or briefly on how to use our configurator to configure any small or bigger plant or a system that you would like to have it configured. Now, once it is configured, all that you need to do is simply go to the menu configuration and then click on deploy. The moment you do that deploy, the data is going to the database. At this point, we expect that each meter that is configured in this is interfaced with our interface card with appropriate connections. So, once we deploy, the interface card with our connected to the meters will be continuously polling for the configuration. So, as soon as you deploy, the new configuration is uploaded to every interface card over the air automatically. Everything happens automatically. So, as soon as the cards get the new configuration, it starts sending the data, then we can see the reports right away. It is that simple. Now, I am not deploying it because there is another sample or a demo version running on this machine. So, if I deploy this one, the data is going to be corrected for the demo, which would cause the demo to stop. So, I am not deploying it, but I would like to show you that small demo and showcase what are the other features that we can achieve in that. So, now I will switch over to the configurator that is running on the system. So, this is the configuration that is running. It has again one site, 2 substations, and I did not add a transformer in this, directly configured 2 residences under substation with their corresponding meters. So, now as you can see, this meter is configured to collect 2 parameters, and this meter is also configured to collect 2 parameters, and basically all meters are configured to collect 2 parameters each. So, this is right now collecting the data, which we can see in our reports. This is our reports. Right now, there are many parameters that you can monitor. But I have catered 3 parameters to show: kW, power factor and a frequency, and you can view the live data by their meters. So, right now I'm showing you kW of substation. So, it is collecting the data. As you can see, this notch is moving. There is also a warning here saying its power is theft. So, as part of analytics, what we do is we try to aggregate the power going out of substation to the power used in the resistances. If there is a mismatch between those two, than the expected, then we show it as a warning. That means, like, either the power is being stolen somewhere or is going somewhere else. You need to look into it. We can configure to send messages or emails to the respective people, so they can take corrective action. But that is part of reporting. Right now, I want to show that if the live data is coming or not. So, this is showing kW, and let us see if there is any data on the power factor. There is nothing. So, as an example or a use case, a particular transformer or resistance, the power is going, there is a frequent outage, and we would like to monitor how well the load is balanced or their power factor characteristics. So, but we have not catered that in the system initially, in the initial configuration, but with our configuration we can simply add that parameter and then try to analyze what is going on there. So, the way we do it is, when this configuration is deployed, it is running. Yeah, there is one more noteworthy about this configuration is the configurator, the database and the reports are located here in US, but the interface cards and the meters are located in India. So, right now we are collecting the data from India at a collection rate of 30 seconds. So, if you want to add another parameter to any particular meter, for example, substation meter 1, I want to add one power factor parameter to be collected. We simply add it, then come here, go to configuration and deploy. As you can see, it is deployed successfully. Now, as soon as the new configuration is deployed, this particular configurator is going to inform or intimate the interface card, indicating that the configuration is changed. You can get new configuration for yourself. So, it works in such a way that even though the entire configuration is updated, only that particular meter or interface card will be informed that has a change. All other interface cards remain unchanged. So, that means there is no updation to that. So, so as soon as the new configuration is updated to the meter or the interface card, it starts sending the collect data. So, now if you go and report, go to the reports and see if there is any live data available for the power factor, we should get it here. But, so, whenever there is an update for the meter, it is going to go through some reset procedure that it takes a minute or so to update and then catch up with the process. So, now I think we spent almost a minute or so. So, it collected one data point for the PF, like it is is 0.99. So, it is collecting the data. So, now well, so similarly, if you want to add another frequency or so, then we can add this frequency. Yeah, another point is so there are 3 more parameters that we can add to this meter, but in situations where these parameters are not sufficient, but you need to add more parameters. So, if you let us know either in advance or even after the system is installed, there is a configuration file for the meter. If you change it with the required parameters, it is going to be appearing in the drop down. So, it is that simple again. So, now let us see if more data has been collected by the system. Yes, there are 3 more points collected. So, this way we can add parameters at any point, and then we have we can use this as a diagnostic tool or whatever. So, once we diagnosed, then we say we do not want this any longer. I do not want to collect this collect the data on the power factor. So, I want to remove it. So, to keep the bandwidth to a minimum, you can simply come and then select that line and then delete it. It is deleted. Go here and then redeploy. It is going to remove that parameter or disable that parameter from this meter. So, it will not be collecting the data any longer. You should not be getting more than this 4 data points. So, that is in brief about our configurator. It is so simple, everything is driven by this gallery. Again, if this gallery items are not sufficient or you want a new items to this gallery, again change one configuration file is going to appropriately change it. That is about the configuration. Hope you liked it, and thanks for watching.